Pipeline. That's the question. And again, he was doing an interview. Mark Carney, the Prime Minister, was doing an interview with Cochrane there on CBC.
You know, to give him his due and to be empathetic here, he's a politician and he's trying to not be clear. That's by design.
He said he's not a politician.
To do that. And he's trying not to be clear because he wants to hold on to all of his oranges for as long as he can before he trips over. And he's eventually going to trip over because eventually he's going to have to alienate. The likelihood is pretty strong, isn't it, that he's not going to alienate Quebec and he's not going to alienate the First Nations. He's going to choose to alienate Alberta. And he's just trying to go as long as he can before he drops the hammer and destroys the dreams of Albertans. And as a consequence, he sounds like an absolute fool, doesn't he? He just sounds ridiculous.
I like how he kind of tried to play Cochrane there by just like, I know you're busy. It's like basically saying, I'm done answering this question. This is the biggest question in Canada right now. Will you build a pipeline or not? And that's the whole separatist movement. Will you build a pipeline or not? That is the question. That is the absolute question. CBC gets all the money. They do a really poor job of getting the answer that Canadians want. That is the question. That is the question. We needed a yes or no answer. Like, there's no way this would have happened in the U.S., like that you would go that long without an answer to that same question. Like, that is the question in Canada right now.
That's correct. And that should have been at least 50% of this interview. Should have just been like ratcheting up the pressure until you got an answer. If Cochrane was, let's be fair to him, if he was free to ask what he wanted to ask, that's the most generous interpretation of his interview style, I would say.